Today, we're going to be talking about winding down to sleep and how do we calm the tension that we have from the day that we've gathered, as well as hyperactivity of the body, moving around, taking care of a bunch of stuff, and of the mind, bouncing around from thing to thing, especially those things that are left to be done still by the end of the day, regrets and things like that. How do we wind that down and let this guided process help us release and relax body and mind? So that's what we're covering today, and I'm glad that you're here. Tell me in the chat box, how has your sleep been? This is all about sleep these Wednesdays, so I want to hear how it's been going and if you've been using any of the tools and if so, what you've found useful so far. And if this is your first time, welcome. You can just say also how your sleep has been. Quality, quantity, just a little check-in. More restlessness due to body aches, shoulder or hips. The throat breathing really helps. That's great to hear. Yeah, not great about the restlessness, but really good that you're using a tool to work with the pain mindfully. Yeah, wonderful. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Usually wake up once during the night. Sleep has been okay. Still having trouble staying asleep, but I've been using the breathing techniques and that helps too. Great. Good to hear. So you're using the breathing techniques in order to help yourself go back to sleep when you wake up. Is that right? These tools have helped greatly. I do feel I sleep longer than I like, but my body must need it. Right. One of these days, I'm going to talk about that, how, I'm often talking about not getting enough sleep, but then there's that whole, like, I might be sleeping longer than I should be, but it feels like my body needs it. And this kind of chronic depletion that is being fulfilled by doing practices like this as we replete ourselves. It might be true that you do need more sleep, and that's in a process that's occurring overall. Ultimately, your body will start to feel like it needs less. But that's only once we're like rejuvenating and really actually getting the rest that we need, right? So you probably do need it. You probably all do. I use breathing to go to sleep and go back to sleep. Techniques do work well. Okay, I'm glad to hear that you're using the tools that you have. I mean, that's sometimes the hardest part, just remembering to use them. And if you've not been, that's okay. There's always the chance to just say, okay, I will try this time. There's always the chance to just start again. So let's do a little bit of a practice right now where you can just be wherever you are, as you are, and close your eyes or not. Just settle into a comfortable position. And give yourself a few deep breaths, fully in and fully out. Breathe in whatever way feels really nourishing right now, really appropriate or helpful. Good. Now just open your perception to whatever it is that pops in. It may be a sound, maybe a thought, maybe a memory or a plan. It doesn't matter so much what it is that pops in. Here we're just opening to whatever You notice without any sense of judgment, even if there's just one thought that's like grinding away in there, or some cycle that you wish you were not in right now, some thought. If there's somewhere else that you wish that you would, some other way you'd wish you'd be feeling, see if you can just simply, unjudgmentally open to perceive somewhat objectively your surroundings. And the thoughts are just like that, like surroundings, like that background sound, just always running. The sound of an old radiator. And something you begin to notice is that you can be aware of a lot of things, right? You can be aware of sounds. And if the sounds change, or if they were to stop, you would still be fine. You'd go on. Awareness itself wouldn't be affected. The sounds would just stop. But your awareness would continue and it wouldn't be affected even by the slightest ripple. So awareness is not dependent on the sounds. You are aware of sounds. Sounds doing this, sounds doing that. But awareness just is, independent of the sounds. Imagine the same with your thoughts. Observe thoughts like sounds. Aware of thoughts, thoughts doing this, thoughts doing that. No matter what the thoughts are to do, no matter how they go, awareness is not affected. It's independent. It needs not the thoughts in order to be awareness. Awareness just is. So there's like this place, and you might have a sense of settling back a little bit into it. Or maybe it's like in your mind, you're coming forward a little bit into that awareness, or spreading out wide. And it's just a different kind of sense. Sense into that awareness, that's consciousness, that's there, that pervades you. And that consciousness is not dependent on the sense perceptions, it's not dependent on thoughts. So take another deep breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes if you like and move around a bit. Okay. So what happens is, I think that we just understandably get caught up in our minds, get caught up in the movement of the mind and the content of the mind. And this is a skill of like sensing into that other way of being just in awareness, where things can come and go, ever changing phenomenon, and we're not so wrapped up in it. I think that helps us get a little space from it, a little wiggle room to help us let go and fall asleep. There's an anonymous quote, one of my favorites ever. It goes, "Do not believe everything you think." And when we can let go, when we learn this kind of different way of sensing and letting go into that just awareness, then it is deeply rejuvenating and strengthening, because it's the way that we don't let go and the way that we hold on, I think, in our minds is really draining, depleting. It's tension causing it, creates tension. It drains energy, literally from the muscular system. It's consuming energy when it's tense. And if we carry some of that tension into the night, into our night's sleep, it'll be different quality than if we can create the conditions of letting go and go in being relaxed, which actually rejuvenates our whole system even more. And I want to share a quote from Peace Pilgrim, and we'll practice together. "When you have found inner peace, you are in constant contact with the source of universal energy and cannot be tired." So with that, let's practice together. So go ahead and lie down, please. You can assume the position of sleep, and we'll practice that way, whether you're in bed or on the couch, or if you can find a position even on the ground on top of a mat or something. Maybe your legs up on a couch or a chair, an ottoman. And then if you can only do this practice sitting up right now because of your setting, then that's fine. And just try to like lean back and get as cozy in as you can. The idea is to lie down so that you don't have to use any muscular energy to support yourself, and you can fully let go. But if you can slouch back and get comfortable in a seat, you're welcome to do it this way too. So settle in, close your eyes or not. You want to eventually allow your eyes to close, but you don't need to in the beginning. You may even be letting your mind go wild. Just give it free rein for a moment. I think that can help. You can even go through the list of things that you did today so far that allowed you to check something off the list, something that feels like an accomplishment or something good or even something kind that you've done. You may even be thinking about the things that you have yet to do. That's okay. As we go through deeper layers of relaxation and transition from the waking state to a more dreaming state, the deeper layers of the mind can become active. It's like the layer that was keeping the unconscious is like a veil that's beginning to thin as you go into the dreaming state, in the deeper dream state. So here's a way to navigate that. So not have to shut down your mind. You don't have to judge your mind or cage the monkey mind in order to get to sleep, in order to get rest right now. Just learn to work with the mind. Begin now to have the intention to let go, to turn from the waking state. That for just this time, just for now, you give yourself permission to begin to let go. The more you let go, the more you can rest now. We're going to focus on breathing to move the body and mind inward into the present moment more. Become aware of your breathing. Be completely aware of the process of breathing. Very slowly begin to shape some smoother, longer abdominal breaths. Really slowly. Don't push it. Start to extend it a little. Breathing in and out through your abdomen. Like you're carving space, shaping space inside your belly. Breathing in, belly rises. Breathing out, belly softens. Please shape about 4 more diaphragmatic abdominal breaths. Sense how, in a very subtle way, you're becoming more and more present. Sensing a gentle wave of relaxation entering your body. And that by the time you do this last one, your body is more at peace, settled. So your mind can begin to settle too. Now you're going to move awareness through the body. Don't try too much, just feel and then listen as I say the body part. Relax and feel. Keep your attention moving around, not staying in one place. But do so with a sense of lightness and grace. Feel and relax your mouth, tongue, lower row of teeth, upper row of teeth, both lips, space between your lips, tip of your nose, whole nose, both cheeks, right ear, left ear, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, whole forehead, both temples, top of your head, back of your head, right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of your hand, back of your hand, wrist. Be effortless. Forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, relax, armpit, right side ribs, waist, hip, right groin, right thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, be at ease, relax the whole body, fifth, all the toes, left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, left palm, back of the hand, wrist, relax the whole body, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, underarm, left side ribs, waist, hip, left groin, relax, left thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, be at ease, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth, all the toes, both hands, both shoulder blades, whole body effortless, whole spine, both buttocks, both heels be effortless, both temples, forehead, inner ears, relax, roof of the mouth, throat, collarbones, chest, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, right leg, left leg, both legs together, right arm, left arm, both arms together, whole front body, whole back body, effortless, whole head, whole body. Be aware of the whole body. Imagine that the whole body is very heavy. Intensify the feeling of heavy. Now begin to sense that the body is so light. You become conscious of a space between your body and the surface on which you're resting. Create this space and grow the feeling of lightness, weightlessness. Now feel both pairs of opposites, heavy and light, simultaneously. Bring your attention to the breath and watch your breath flow through your nostrils. Breath ascends on inhale through the nostrils, descends on exhale. Like two lines, two flows through left and right nostril, just rising and falling lines through both nostrils. As you inhale, begin to see these breath lines rise as two separate lines and meet in the center of your eyebrows. The apex of the breath in the brain. behind your eyebrows. Don't force, just feel. On exhale, it descends from that apex, the center of the eyebrows, out both nostrils, where the lines meet a few inches below the tip of your nose. Just watch these two lines of breath rise from that point, float into the brain. Descends from that point, out both nostrils. Please continue. Relax any effort. Feel the breath rising and falling through both nostrils on its own, body breathing itself. You're going to move backward in time. Normally we move forward from one thing to the next. In this exercise, you will step backwards through the previous moments of the day so far and learn to observe yourself. This deeply unwinds the psyche and helps you become more in tune with a quiet center. It also helps to improve memory and sharpen your mental capacities. Become conscious of where you were just before you began this session. Maybe see it in your mind's eye. What was your body doing? What were your senses perceiving just before you began? What were you feeling and thinking? Now recall the exact circumstances you were in 30 minutes before that. Picture the scene as though you were looking at a documentary. See the surroundings, textures, things, or people in the environment. What were you doing, thinking? What were you feeling? Do this without any judgment. Then, as soon as that registers, go back 30 minutes prior to that. Remember the events, people, and things around you. Don't become involved in playing them back out again. Just be a witness to what you were thinking, sensing, and feeling. As soon as it's registered, quickly go back 30 minutes prior to that. And continue to go back in 30-minute increments, all the way to the moment just before you woke up this morning. You are observing reactivity from a non-reactive state. Observing doing from a state of non-doing. Just be a witness. Please bring your awareness to the space directly in front of the forehead and eyes, finding an empty or black space, sensing it somewhere behind or in front of your closed eyes. Here you can watch the dark space exactly as though you're seated in front of a movie screen. Just watch the darkness. With relaxation, you may experience patterns of light or colors emerging from the emptiness. Sense different objects. Don't get involved with or try to analyze. Just watch the dark space in front of your eyes. Not trying to make anything happen or not make anything happen. Your relaxation is key. Let go and watch the space. Please now bring yourself to the present and be aware of effortless breathing. Body peacefully breathing itself. Body and mind are resting in deep rhythm of relaxation. Even while things are happening in the mind. Begin to deepen your breath, giving yourself a long breath in and then a slow breath out. Begin to awaken the muscles in your body and slowly bring yourself back into the environment that you're in so that you notice the difference between where you were and as you start to open your sense perceptions to include your environment. Piero Ferrucci said, surrender refreshes and regenerates. Failure to surrender strains and weakens. So drop any questions that you have into the chat box. Something that can happen when we're consciously watching our mind this way is that it might not always be super pleasant. So if you had an experience that was different than you thought, if it wasn't one of pure ease and relaxation or peace, that's completely fine, normal, natural, and just what needed to happen for you right now to observe what's kind of there in the contents of your mind, but to do so in a safe space, with guidance, with these practices that help you and your nervous system feel safe and relaxed. It's important. Let me know if you have any questions. And I hope that what you take away from this today is that you don't have to stop your mind, contrary to what I hear a lot of. Say I just have to stop the thinking. It's actually an unwinding, and you can learn to work with that in some really good ways. So can mindfulness help sleep apnea? I think that with sleep apnea, it's the first thing is medical treatment. So that machine, so that's a good machine. Yeah, I wonder if that's helping. If it's still problematic, then I would definitely introduce yoga nidra on top of that. But I would never say let's do this practice as a replacement for sleep apnea. I think that's something that is, you know, really effectively treated medically. Um, Definitely bringing in these tools along with that would be useful for that person. But that's a really good question. All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will look forward to next time. Take care, everyone.